Are you looking for an awesome travel trailer that you can tow with your mid-size pickup or SUV? Well, stick around, folks. We found some amazing travel trailers that weigh less than 5,000 pounds. Hey guys, Mike from RVBlogger here in front of the camera, and Susan's behind the camera. And before we begin our RV tours today, I just wanted to take a minute and thank our sponsor of this video, RV Mattress by Brooklyn Bedding. Hey guys, we want to interrupt this message to bring you a very important update. Now, we have an awesome Brooklyn Bedding mattress in our RV, but we also come home here to Maryland every so often to visit family and friends and all that good stuff. And the transition from the RV to home was pretty rough because we had a different mattress at home than what we have in the RV. So the first few nights we would get home from any travel, we wouldn't get any sleep. So what did we do? Well, we bought ourselves another mattress from Brooklyn Bedding so that we have that here at home. And we also have a third place where we stay pretty often, and that's at my mom's house down in Florida. So guess what we did there? We bought another Brooklyn bed mattress for our home down in Florida. So no matter where we are, in the RV, in our home in Maryland, in our home in Florida, we are nice and comfy and sleeping great with no transition periods where we lose sleep in between. And if that's not enough, my daughter and her husband just bought their brand new home. They needed a mattress and they got a Brooklyn Bedding mattress as well. So do yourself a favor, check out Brooklyn Bedding. Now, we tour tons and tons of RVs, as you guys know. So who sees more RV mattresses than we do? Not many people. And one thing we notice in every RV is that the mattress that comes with many new RVs is not a great mattress. It's just like this one that's in our Class A RV. Usually they're a 4 or 5 inch foam mattress, not a very good quality, and they do fail over time, and you'll find yourself putting a mattress topper on there to make it feel better. I'm embarrassed to say we've waited 2 years till we replaced our mattress, but we finally did. And so why did we choose RV Mattress by Brooklyn Bedding? Well, for a number of reasons, the biggest of which is we know a lot of full-time RVers that have used RV Mattress by Brooklyn Bedding in their RV, and we hear awesome things all about them. First of all, they're comfortable. They make mattresses that fit your RV or van. They can make different sizes for many different size mattresses. As you know, they're not standard residential sizes that go in an RV or a van. Second of all, they have a 120-night sleep trial period. So if you don't like your mattress, they'll take care of that with you and get another one that suits you better. And it comes with a lifetime limited warranty, which gives me a lot of peace of mind. They also ship to wherever you are. We had our mattress shipped to a campground where we were camping. Just make sure they accept big packages, but they'll ship anywhere to where you are in the US for free. And their manufacturing facilities right in Arizona, so it's very easy and quick shipping period to send it on out to you. Now, we got a short king size mattress in our particular RV. We went with their signature hybrid mattress, which is their best-selling mattress. We figured we'd go with one that most people choose, and we've heard from people that have this mattress and they seem very happy with it. We also went with, they have a soft, medium, and firm choice. We chose the medium. Now, if you're interested in ordering an RV mattress for your RV, we suggest you head on over to rvmattress.com/RVblogger and use discount code RVblogger so you can save 30% on your new mattress. So here I am on our nice new mattress, and it is comfy. It's even got this nice pillow top here, which is super soft on top of the medium firmness, and it feels perfect. If you guys are interested in getting an RV mattress from Brooklyn Bedding, just go to rvmattress.com/RVblogger. And don't forget to use discount code RVblogger so you can save 30% on your new RV mattress. This travel trailer is the Keystone Reign model number 15RB. It has an unloaded vehicle weight of 3,375 pounds. A cargo carry capacity of 1,000 pounds for an overall gross vehicle weight rating of 4,375 pounds. The hitch weight is 345 pounds. It measures in at 19 feet, 11 inches long, and it can sleep up to 3 people. The gray tank capacity is 27 gallons, and so is the black tank, and the freshwater capacity is 37 gallons. When you first walk into this camper, on the right-hand side is where your sofa and bed are located. Then we wrap on around through the dinette and kitchen area, and behind me here is where the bathroom is located. So our first impression when we walked into this camper is, it's a pretty cool kind of feel. They're marketing the Reign as though it's got a European sleek design, and some of the cabinetry in here certainly indicates that. And we'll take a look at that as we head on through the tour, and we can see what you think about it as well. But the first thing you'll note is on the right hand side here, this serves as both your lounging area and also your bedroom. It's got a nice comfy couch here up front, perfect spot to sit here and watch the TV. And then below the couch, it's got these 3 storage doors, and it is all open storage underneath of there, but plenty of it. And then if you want to convert this into a bed, you would simply jackknife your sofa out, and then you have to release the D-rings on both sides, pull that down, and then just unfold your mattress into place. And now you'll notice that you have all these nice rounded corners, finished edges everywhere. It's kind of like what they've done is taken cabinets and not put the doors on them, but then given you a much nicer rounded edge that's all finished off. So it's a neat look. Let us know what you think about it in the comments down below. Now on each side of the bed, you'll notice that you have a couple of cubbies, and also you have pretty large storage area on this side. There's no bar up top, and I would think they would put one there, and then maybe that way you could hang some garments in here. Same thing on the other side. But then down below and in front of these, I'll call them pseudo cabinets, you do have some end tables on each side, and on the front of the end table is where you would find an electrical receptacle and a USB and C port, so you can plug in any electronics if you're, I don't know, reading your Kindle, you need to charge your phone overnight, any of that good stuff. You should be in good shape. I think a CPAP machine would even fit on one of these end tables if you need one of those. A great little feature located right across from the couch is also this fireplace. So when you're sitting in here lounging at night, or you're laying in bed, you can enjoy the ambiance of the fireplace as well. And you can also heat your camper with this fireplace. We have a fireplace in our RV, and it does a great job keeping us nice and toasty warm on those chilly nights. So here I am sitting at the dinette in here, and the way this camper is set up currently, it's really set up as a couples camper, but you could also set it up a little differently so a family of 4 could be in here as well, and I'll show you that in just a couple minutes. But the dinette itself is perfect for 2 people. Down below here, the one dinette across from me actually has some storage behind it, so they take advantage of that space. My end of the dinette has your fuse box and circuit breakers here, so that's how this side is used. The dinette itself also has this really nice accent lighting underneath, just a very nice touch. Again, they're going for that European sleek modern feel, and so I think they're getting there pretty well. Also underneath of here, you'll notice that the table itself can slide back and forth, and you can also drop this table down and turn this into another bed. And the way you would get to making this work for a family of 4 is, they're not showing it here, but there is an optional bunk that you can clip up into place and then drop it down. So you could have 2 people sleep on the Murphy bed, and then you would end up with a bunk bed situation here. So it could be for a family of 4. So the camper is very versatile depending on what options that you choose to go inside. Now, if you were to drop down the dinette and make it into a bed, you would end up with a bed that is about 68 inches, and then it would be about 28 inches wide, and the bunk that goes over top is the same exact dimensions. I'm not sure what the weight limitation would be on the top bunk, but usually if there's a drop down bunk like this, they're not more than 200 pounds. So really meant more for kids to sleep on these 2 areas. Now over top of your dinette table, you have this really nice oversized window here, and then on the ceilings in here, instead of just having the normal separators between all the ceiling panels at every 4 feet, they went ahead and put LED lighting in here, and it's just a great way to light up your camper. It's a lot nicer, a lot brighter than if they just use the puck lights here and there throughout the camper. Now behind me here is where your TV is located, and again, this is in a great position for being able to see from the couch or while you're laying in bed at night. Below that, you've got some open storage here, and then you've also got some more storage behind the back of the dinette seat. So right across from the dinette and behind the fireplace here is where the kitchen is located. Now this is what we call an inline kitchen. Just means all of your kitchen appliances are in a line. Starting up top here, we have a nice open cabinet here. Again, no door on the front of these cabinets. I guess that's part of the European look. Everything's sort of open air. Next to that, we have a microwave oven. Down below, we've got a window over top of the kitchen sink, and there's also an outlet here on the corner. So if you wanted to plug in a coffee pot or toaster, you could certainly do that. This has a really big, nice round, deep bowl sink with a really cool faucet overhead, and this is your sprayer that comes out. So very unusual kind of layout there. It was sideways originally, then your water would squirt and hit the cabinet here, so you want to make sure you put it the right direction. Next to that, we have a 2-burner propane range, and then below that you've got more open storage down below. The refrigerator here is a good size fridge for this camper, and the like I said, plenty of room inside of here, and then you've got a separate freezer down below, which is a good size. It's not a great size. This is also a 12-volt refrigerator, and it also runs on a compressor. Great news there is you don't need any propane to run it. It'll run on a battery while you're driving on down the road, and also it gets cold much faster than the old propane style refrigerators. Now, there's no ice maker in here, and so for you guys and gals that enjoy a few cocktails on the weekend, you might want to have some ice cubes available. So in this case, you probably need to get like a countertop ice maker, and that'll make ice for you the whole weekend. I used to have one, and so I wrote a blog article all about ice makers. And if you want to check that out, I'll put a link in the description down below. You can head on over to RVBlogger.com and read that article and see which ice makers we recommend that you might like for your camping trip. Now, back behind me here is where the bathroom is located, and I'm going to hop into the shower like I always do. And you know, it's this bathroom runs from side to side in the back of the camper, so it does feel nice and roomy in here. The shower itself, let's see how much headroom we have here up into the skylight. So this shower goes up to about 6 feet 1 inch into the skylight. My head is hitting the ceiling outside of the skylight. So for you taller folks, you're going to have to crouch down a bit. The overall ceiling height throughout the entire camper is 6 feet 5 inches. And then the shower itself is 22 inches deep and about 32 inches wide. So not a huge shower, but it's certainly large enough that you'd be comfortable to be able to take a shower in here. The wand is removable, so that helps. And then behind me here, we have 3 shelves for your soap, shampoo, and conditioners. Another really nice feature in here is they did go ahead and install a retractable shower door, so I'm very happy to see more and more manufacturers installing that before I have to make a comment about a shower curtain that I hate. But anyway, they did it here, so great job, Keystone. Outside of it here, we've got our medicine cabinet, a couple of shelves inside of here for some of your personal items. And then I like the sink down here. It's a black sink, you know, just has that really modern, sleek feel to it. And then down below, a little bit of open storage, but really your plumbing pipes are there. I kind of wish they had a door on that because you don't really want to see your plumbing pipes from the rest of your camper. Across from that, we have an open storage area here. It's a little bit shallow. I don't really know if you could use it for linens and towels. I guess you could fold them up and make them small enough to fit into space. You could certainly store like extra toilet paper and toilet chemicals and things like that in here. And then above me here is where the vent is. We're seeing more and more of this style of vent instead of the roof vent. It's lighted up, which is a really nice feature, and then you can turn it on and it will exhaust all the steam right on out of your bathroom. And finally, here I am on the commode, and I can actually pass the elbow test on both sides. Now, the Reign also has a very modern paint job that we're starting to see in some more travel trailers, where they do a solid color all over the entire camper instead of the old white with sizzle strips that run through it. So this has a really nice green color to it, and then you have your awning light up top, and then down below you've got this really nice blue or blue-green neon lighting that's an LED strip that runs along the side of the trailer. Up front here we have pass-through storage that runs underneath the Murphy bed, and there's also an opening on the other side to make all of your camping gear fully accessible. This travel trailer is the Forest River No Boundaries, otherwise known as NOBO, model number NB18.1. It has an unloaded vehicle weight of 3,019 pounds, a cargo carry capacity of 1,500 pounds for an overall gross vehicle weight rating of 4,519 pounds. The hitch weight is 305 pounds. It measures in at 14 feet 11 inches long, and it can sleep up to 2 people. The gray tank capacity is 30 gallons. Black tank is also 30 gallons, and the freshwater tank also holds 30 gallons. When you first walk in this travel trailer, on your right is where the kitchen is located, and on your left is where the bathroom is located. Straight ahead here is where the dinette and your bed are located. Now, our first impression when Susan and I walked in here is that this is really the perfect camper for either a solo camper or maybe a couple who are camping. It's small, it's lightweight, easy to tow, but it's got everything that you need for a great camping adventure. Now, starting out with the kitchen area here, this is what we call an inline kitchen, and all that means is that all of your kitchen appliances are in a line. It's the most efficient, space-saving way to set up a kitchen in an RV, and in a small camper like this, you need every inch of space that you can find. Starting up top here, we've got a microwave oven, which is also a convection microwave, and it's even got an air fryer in there. Can you imagine that? Now, let us know what you think about these microwaves. If you have one at home, our microwave doesn't air fry and all that stuff. It's just a microwave and convection oven. So let us know if you have one and how it works and how you like it. Next door to that, you've got this cabinet up top here for some additional storage. Down below, we have a really nice big sink, and there's a lot of features that they build into the sink. First of all, you have a cutting board here, which just fits right on top like that. Then you've got this beautiful big gooseneck faucet with an integral sprayer, so you can wash all your dishes. And if you have veggies in here, they've got a veggie pan and another wash pan, so you can use this to wash all your veggies off and stuff. You can pull this out, pull the other tray out, and you're left with a nice big rectangular deep bowl sink. Now, you'll also notice it's got this weird spot right here. This is a special wash thing. This dial here is used to turn that on and off, and then you have your soap dispenser here. And on the other side, this bronze fitting turns the water on and off. And then you even have a dish or a glass washing station. You could use this for your cocktail glasses or coffee mugs, whatever you need. Next to that, we've also got a 2-burner stove, and this is a propane stove setup. So you just fold that up and out of the way, and there you go. Down below that, you have some additional storage under your cooktop and even more storage under the sink. So at the other end of the kitchen is where the refrigerator is located, and this is a huge refrigerator for a camper this small. I mean, in my opinion, it's a bit oversized, but it's a fantastic size refrigerator and separate freezer to keep you going for an extended camping trip. Now, just across from the refrigerator, you'll notice that we have 2 cabinets here, one up top and one down below. They both have a fixed shelf in the middle. So I guess you could use these cabinets for either food storage or even for your clothing storage while you're in here. There's not a whole lot of cabinet space for that. This is really it. Now, the dinette itself is a large U-shaped dinette, and there's plenty of room here. You could comfortably get 3 people around this table, and you could play cards and have a meal and really enjoy yourselves in here. This is also your living area, so if you're sitting on the dinette on that side, you can see the TV above my head here, which is in a great position for either hanging out or when you turn this into a bed. Now, up front here, there are windows on both sides of the dinette and a very large window up front here to let in tons and tons of light. There is a shade that will come down so you can black it out during the evening hours. And there she goes back up. Now, let's take a look at how this dinette converts into your bed, and I'll show you how easy that is. This table itself, you sort of just scoot in and out of there, and the table slides in and out very easily. But there's also this little clip right here, and what you do is you just pull that up and then push down on the table, and that puts your dinette table in position to make it into a bed. And then you would grab these 3 cushions, put them down in the middle. Whoa, they just popped up again. You'd have to squish them into place and then probably cover it with a sheet or something like that, but that's the whole idea. So now that we have the dinette into the bed position, on each end of the bed, there's a shelf up top, so you could be, I would probably make this the head of the bed, right? So I can watch TV, and you can set things up on the shelf. There's also some storage underneath on both sides, and then back in each corner, there's a tower of power. So you have a receptacle and USB and C ports. So all of your electronic devices can stay charged up and ready to go for the next day's adventures. Now here's one other really neat feature that I thought I'd never see in a trailer that's only 14 feet and some odd inches long, and that is the central vac system. You can sweep up the floor right into this area here and it'll suck those crumbs away. Now here I am in the bathroom, and this was probably the best surprise of all in a camper this small. I opened the door here and I expected to find a wet bath, but instead we found a dry bath. And for you guys that don't know what the difference is, a wet bath is when your toilet also sits inside the shower. And so the floor for your toilet and your shower are all the same floor. So when you take a shower, your toilet gets all wet and your bathroom floor gets wet. And the disadvantage to that is that later in the day, if you want to use the bathroom, you kind of have to dry off the toilet and dry off the floor, or you're going to get all wet and then track it through your camper. Also, if your camper's not perfectly level and it's leveled away from the drain, you may have, you know, an inch or two of water away from the drain side of the shower base, and now you got to get that water out also. The advantage of a wet bath is that it saves a lot of space, but somehow they managed to get a dry bath into this very small camper. So kudos on that. Great design work in my opinion. Now the shower in here, let's get some head height in here and see what we're working with. From the shower base up into the skylight, we have 6 feet 4 inches of headspace. That's very good. And the normal headspace throughout the entire camper is about 6 feet 6 inches. So even for you taller folks, you know, I think this might be a decent camper for you. Now the shower itself is about 32 inches by about 22 inches. So not the biggest shower in the world, but still I'm standing in here. I'm very comfortable. If I was showering in here, I'd have plenty of room and feel just fine. There are a couple of corner shelves here for your soap and shampoo, and also a couple more shelves behind me. And then the shower curtain is on a track, which is okay in my opinion. That's acceptable. And the track itself curves out and away from the shower, so it does give you a little more room in here. But that's a perfectly fine shower curtain design in my opinion. Now outside of the shower, we have a really nice medicine cabinet here with some open storage underneath. Then you've got your sink with plenty of countertop space there. There's also storage under the sink and open storage next to the commode. I do also want to point out really quickly, there is an electrical outlet above the countertop in here if you were to need that. And then while sitting on the commode with the door shut, I mean, hey, it's a small camper with a small bathroom, but it doesn't feel very cramped in here at all. Now here we are outside of this camper, and as you can see, it's got a beautiful two-tone paint job on it. It's dark green on the bottom and beige up top. It's got some very nice graphics here, just a much nicer look than the old traditional style, which was kind of plain and just had the stripies going nowhere. So I really like it. I think it looks really great. Let me know in the comments down below what you think, and if you think that all RVs should be painted some different colors for a change. You know, we'd like to see things changed up quite a bit. Now outside here, you've got some really nice features. You have an electrical outlet here, and then you have a nice little shelf here which goes right next to your griddle top. So if you're cooking bacon and eggs in the morning, you can put a plate here, and as you finish them up, stick them on your plate. There's also an outside shower here with a sprayer, so you can use this to wash off your toys or wash off yourself before you head on into your camper. Also, we've got this nice awning that extends out really nice and big, so if you're out here using your outdoor kitchen, you can stay dry if it's a little rainy or stay in the shade if it's a little sunny. And then there's one last feature up front here, and that is that we have pass-through storage all the way through to the other side, which happens to be underneath where the dinette is inside. This travel trailer is the Liv model number 23BHS. It has an MSRP of $35,235, but that's not the sales price. The UVW is 3,640 pounds. Cargo carry capacity is 873 pounds for an overall gross vehicle weight rating of 4,800 pounds. The hitch weight is 390 pounds. It measures in at 25 feet, 3 inches long, and it can sleep up to 6 people. The gray tank capacity is 30 gallons, the black tank is 30 gallons, and the freshwater tank is 35 gallons. When you first walk into this travel trailer, on the right-hand side is where the bed is located. And then we wrap on around into the dinette area and kitchen. On my right here is where the bunks are located, and to my left at the back of the camper is where the full bath is located. Now, our first impression when we walked into this camper is that it checks off a lot of the boxes that we look for a great family-sized camper. And as we go through our tour, we'll point all of those features out to you. But all in all, this camper feels really nice and big and plenty of room for everybody inside. But at the same time, there's a little bit of separation between the bedroom and the rest of the camper just because of the way that this wall is built into place. Now, as we start our tour up here at the front of the camper, we start in the bedroom area, and you'll notice that you've got all this nice cabinetry built in all around the bed. Right over top of the bed here, you've got a couple of doors that open, and this is all open across here, so you can easily access and stow things away up there. Then you have wardrobe cabinets on each side of the bed. And that's a little tough to open, but it's new, and they're all a little sticky when they're new. But up top here, you've got a bar so you can hang your garments here, and there's still room below to stow away even more items. Now, behind each of these wardrobe cabinets, there's also a cubby shelf here and another storage shelf below that, and there's also an electrical outlet behind here and one on the other side as well, so you can plug in any electronic devices that you need overnight and you're very, very good to go. I also like the graphic design and the pseudo mirror look that they have in here. It just gives it a nice feel. There's also a couple of wall sconces here on either side of the bed. Very, very nice touch. And then under the bed, when you lift up your mattress here, you've got some storage behind, and then in front here you've got your individual totes that you can remove, and then down below that you've got a perfect area for all of your shoe storage underneath. Now let's check out what the size of this bed is real quick. And this mattress in here is, I'll call it 72 inches and 60 inches wide. So this will be considered a short queen-sized bed. Just to give you an idea, a residential queen-sized bed would be 60 inches wide by 80 inches long. This is only 72. So for you taller guys, I think your feet are going to be hanging off the end of the bed. But that's how I sleep anyway. I'm very, very comfortable doing that. So I don't know, I think it would work out just fine. Now, right across from the bed is where they have this little wall built in here, and this does kind of create a little bit of separation between the bedroom and the rest of the camper. They have the TV mounted here, which is a great position to lay in bed and watch TV at night. And then you've got some of your controls on this wall as well, like your water pump, your awning, things like that. So pretty nice setup in this area of the camper. Now, here we are at the dinette location, and this is a very unusual dinette. I've never seen a dinette like this before. So one of the most unusual features about it is it's really kind of a 2.5-sided dinette. It's a U-shaped, but it's missing this part of the U. And so it's just very unusual in that regard. But it's still usable as a bed as well, because this table will fold up, and it actually has a leg on this one corner. So you can lower the table down, and this will sit on the floor, and that way this corner of the table, which will become the support for your mattress, won't fall. So it's a really, really neat setup. Now, if you were to set this up as a bed, you end up with a pretty good sized bed. I mean, this is about 72 inches, and then the width on it is going to be about 52 inches wide. So you could easily get, an average size adult or even two, and certainly a kiddo or two to sleep here if need be. So another really nice feature about the dinette area is that there is storage all the way around and under the dinette seating in here. So that gives you a ton of storage. You can lift up the cushions and then just lift up this piece, and you've got wide open storage all the way around. So they really maximize the storage space in here. And while I have this piece up, I want to show you how these campers are made. Now, Live campers have 0 wood in them. They have no wood whatsoever. No wood, no rot. That's their motto. And they're all made out of this thermoplastic composite material. And as you can see, it's kind of like cardboard, but it's plastic. It has all these little individual chambers in here, and then they are made to be really, really resistant against strength. I mean, you can't bend them. I mean, they're really, really strong. They've driven tractor trailers over this stuff and it doesn't break. So it's very, very strong. The walls, the ceilings, the floors, everything is made out of this material. And so it's just plastic. So water will never hurt it. You'll never have mildew or rot problems in here. You can see the honeycombing effect on this piece right here. So it gives you an idea of how it's made. And all those little individual air chambers also help to insulate the RV, so it'll stay cooler in the summertime and it'll stay warmer in the winter time. So I wouldn't call it a 4-season RV by any stretch, but it's certainly a 3-season. You know, you could use it in the shoulder seasons and then in the spring, summer, and fall. So just a really cool product, though. It's not often that we are finding a lot of travel trailers that have 0 wood in them, but this is certainly one. Over top of the dinette, you've got all these cabinets above. So you have plenty of storage up here. It's open from one side to the other, so you can stow away things up here. And then it's got these 4 cabinet doors here on the one side of the dinette. So it really gives you just a ton of storage here for, I don't know, whether you're going to use it for pantry storage or clothes storage or whatever you need. But all of these cabinets are really pretty deep. I mean, this cabinet is, I'll just measure from the middle. It's about 29 inches deep. And then inside they're about 17 inches wide. So like I said, a really good amount of storage space here. Now the dinette itself is in a slide out, and so the whole dinette area does slide out of the camper. And if it did roll into the room, it's going to come in by about, I'm going to call it about 33 inches or so. And so if the dinette slide was all the way in, it would be very hard to get past the dinette to be able to use the refrigerator or the bathroom in here. So just note that for you folks, that that's an important feature for you. But otherwise, I think it sets up really, really nicely, and it's just very uniquely done, and it gives you a ton of storage space. So I like all those features. Now the kitchen area itself, I think, is very impressive. Look at all the countertop area that you get in here. You don't see that very often in a smaller camper. This thing's only 25 feet 8 inches long, and so to have this much counter space is really a nice treat. Up top here, we have open storage all the way across. So again, plenty of room up there for all your storage. You've got a couple of lights here that turn on and off at location. You've got your hood fan and light. And then this one actually has, gosh, I can't believe it, but a 3-burner stove in here, and they have the room for it, so why not? And then down below that, it's got a convection microwave oven in here. And for those of you that haven't tried a convection microwave, we have one in our Class A and we love it. It's really a piece of cake to use. We can use it as either a microwave or a regular oven if we want to warm up some pizza or something like that. It's just a matter of pushing the right button, and then there you go. It's just as easy as can be. I love the fact that it's got this oversized window over almost the whole entire countertop here, so it makes it nice and bright in your kitchen. And then it has this beautiful backsplash. They didn't run it out on the side wall here. I wish they did, but a lot of campers don't. But still, it's just a really, really great look. The sink that's in here is a decent sized sink. I wish they would have used a little bit bigger sink, because I think you need a little bigger sink to make it easy to wash your dishes. But nonetheless, you've got tons of countertop space on both sides. There's a wall outlet or receptacle, electrical receptacle over here, so you can plug in your coffee pot or toaster or whatever. Underneath the countertop, we have a couple of drawers that pull out for all of your kitchen utensils, one on each side of the sink. And down below that, you've got a fireplace in here that also acts as a heater in this unit. So if you're camping in the shoulder seasons, you can warm up your camper on those chilly nights. So there's also an electrical receptacle down here on the front of the cabinet face. So I guess if you needed to, run a little extension cord and plug things in on top of your counter, you could do that as well. Now, just across from the cooktop and the microwave is where the refrigerator is located in here. This is a really great size fridge. It's a Dometic fridge. Liv uses all Dometic appliances. in their RVs. So you get a really good size freezer and a separate refrigerator. It's a 12-volt system, and so it'll run on your battery while you're cruising down the road, and then it runs on the shore power when you plug in at your campsite. So you don't need to worry about using propane to keep your fridge cold while you're rolling down the road. Now, just across from the fridge and beyond the kitchen is where the bunk beds are located here. Each of these bunks has really good features that we look for in bunk beds. We like to see bunks that have their own window, their own light, their own electrical outlet, and a USB port if possible. Each of these bunks has 3 out of 4 of those features, and so they're really, really terrific for the kiddos to be comfortable while they're sleeping here. They each have a window, a light, and an electrical receptacle. If you don't have a USB, it's no big deal. You just plug your USB block in, and then you can use your USB cord from there to charge your electronic devices. So all in all, you're in great shape. Now, let's see what size these babies are. They are 72 inches by 28 inches wide, which is a pretty standard size for a single bunk in most travel trailers that you find. And so, hey, it's a great setup for both of the bunk beds. All right, now here we are in the bathroom, all the way in the back of this trailer, right next to the bunk beds, and I'm standing in the shower like I usually do. Let's get a head measurement in, or a height measurement in here. I don't know how big my head is. Susan thinks it's way too big. All right, we got 6'5" in here, and the overall height throughout the camper is 6'7". So decent ceiling heights in here for some of you taller folks. The shower depth is about, I'm going to call this one 25 inches. Very good size. And then the width on it is 40 inches. So really good shower size inside this camper. Now this one does come with a shower curtain, and there is not one of those rods that extends out into the room, because I think this cabinet would be in the way from that happening. So in this case, I might recommend getting a retractable shower door instead of using a shower curtain. If you guys have seen any of our videos, you know I hate shower curtains, but a retractable shower door is an easy way to go. Also, it's got a shower with a detachable wand up front here. Very basic setup. There are no shelves or pockets or anything in here for soap or shampoo, but I would just put a soap dispenser on the wall up here. We use one in our RV, and we also use the same one at home. I'll throw a link down below in the notes if you want to check it out, but that would be a great resource to have in here, and then you can keep your shampoo and soap up high and out of the way. And you could also buy those mesh pouches that are used in showers and maybe put one on the back wall if you need to hold more things in here. So you got a couple of options there. Now across from the shower, we have this sort of medicine cabinet design. It's got a mirror that's in a fixed position, which I can see myself just fine, but there's no way this would work from Susan. It would look like this. You see the top of my hair? That's how it would look if Susan was trying to look in this mirror. She's not as tall as me. But, so I'm not real sure about that, how that's going to work out, but it's a minor problem. Actually, Susan had a great idea. She would just take a full-length mirror and just mount it on the back of the bathroom door, and there you go. You can check yourself out from head to toe and make sure you're ready to go for today's activities. Behind each of these, though, you've got plenty of storage space back here. There's not a shelf built into either of them, but at least there's room for some of your toiletries and personal items. And down below that is where your vanity is located, and you've got a good amount of countertop space around your vanity as well. There's also a towel hook here and a towel bar over here as well, and then you've got some open storage behind the commode. Finally, or toilet, whatever you'd like to call it. I call things all kinds of different names. Commodes, toilets, you name it. I got a different name for everything. But we are going to pass the elbow test in here, and even with this door shut, the bathroom is big enough that it does not feel claustrophobic at all. Yeah, here we are outside of this travel trailer, and it's got a bit of an unusual feature. The shower, the outdoor shower, is actually on the camp side of this trailer, and so some folks may say, well, that's really unusual. We normally see them on the other side. The way I see it, it's got its advantages and disadvantages just like everything else. One big advantage is if you're getting ready to go inside your camper and you need to wash off before you go in, or you want to wash off a cooler before you take it in, or anything like that, it's in a convenient location for that. I guess the downside to it is that the campsite of your campsite might get a little wet if you're out here hosing things off. So You could look at it either way. The unusual part though is that the city water connection and the tank fill are also on this side of the RV, and that's really, really weird because all of the hookups would be on the other side. So you'd end up having to just run your water hose under here, under your RV, and then connect it over here. It's not that big of a deal, and it certainly is easier to get to where the water tank is because it's right behind here. That's why they put them on this side. Just a little bit of an unusual situation. And then finally, we have a very large exterior storage space here at the very front of the camper underneath the bed inside. And as you can see, there's plenty of room inside here, and you can access your storage from both sides of your camper. Hey guys, let us know which one of these travel trailers you like the most and why in the comments down below. Susan and I love to hear from everybody, and we get into the comments and answer everyone. So please join in on the fun and leave a comment down below. And if you want to check out even more travel trailers that are under 5,000 pounds, just click the box down below, and Susan and I will see you in the next video.